All right, I know what you're saying. You're saying, yes, TJ, the silver price did close above the $24 level, but it is looking a little slow today. Things are looking a little weak today. Well, I will say generally today, for the dollar, which is what we kind of have to look at in comparison with silver, is actually looking way weaker. So by comparison, let's take a look here at the DXY. I'm going to bring this over here. This is the chart I created and that I've been referencing in previous videos. Now, this is important to take note of here because if you take a look at the DXY's performance over the last several days, it's pretty much just been on a descent here. And we have yet to really, and basically this descent here is developing a new trend. And as far as the highs are concerned, we have yet to go above this newly established line here in the past 2 days. In fact, we've had some pretty strong weakness here in the dollar yesterday in DXY. As far as the DXY's performance today, it actually had a pretty wide range, dropping almost all the way down to the 92.40 level. So it looks like it's really trying to get to the bottom here of this volatility band for the Bollinger Bands. So it looks like it's dropping and displaying some weakness. Now, obviously, it's at the height of the range right now. So though it is currently at the 92.67 level, it's still trying to hold on to a little bit of strength here, but it is still on a descent. So for us, yeah, things are looking a tiny bit weak, but by comparison with the DXY, we're still holding pretty well right below the $24 an ounce level. And, you know, pretty much what we need to start taking a look at is, you know, what can we glean from the macro to forecast what could possibly happen here in silver and possibly even the dollar. So here we have U.S. consumer confidence falls in August to 6-month low. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because we just got this data today and it surprised analysts to the downside. And again, this is something I keep mentioning over and over and over again, that we will be seeing more negative surprise data than positive U.S. surprise data. And with this negative U.S. surprise data, it is bearish for the dollar. So if we scroll down here, let's take a look at what they had to say as far as consumer confidence falling pretty aggressively. So U.S. consumer confidence fell in August to the lowest level since February amid rising concerns about the rapidly spreading Delta variant and worries about higher inflation. So this sounds very, very staggy to me here. You know, when it comes to the Delta variant, you know, obviously there's a risk here of slowed growth, but also there's a risk here of continued supply chain issues on top of the monetary or the easy monetary policy that we just came out of. So those two things make up the higher inflation expectations. And something that also came out today, which I'll likely talk about tomorrow, also is a boon for higher inflation. But let's continue. The Conference Board reported Tuesday that its consumer confidence index dropped to a reading of 113.8 in August, down from a revised 125.1 in July. It was the lowest level for the index since a reading of 95.2 in February. The July index was revised from down from an initially reported 129.1, which followed a reading of 128.9 in June, the best showing since before the issue struck in February 2020. So even the July index was revised down. So, you know, we're starting to see a trend develop here of just continued weakness in consumer confidence in the past couple of months, again, spurred by primarily Delta. and also even some inflation concerns. Let's continue. The conference board said that concerns about the resurgence in cases, as well as worries about rising gas and food prices, have had contributed to the drop. With the August decline, the overall index is 19 points below its pre-2020 level. The drop in August reflected a weakening in both the current conditions and expectations components of the index. So not just today, but what we should be expecting in the future for consumption, which is a problem when it comes to things like GDP. And again, when we start to think about growth prospects here, and them lagging, in a stagnant way, on top of with inflation, you get my drift here as far as what could be a good environment for gold and silver. Let's continue. With the August decline, the overall the report showed that spending intentions for purchases of homes, autos, and major appliances cooled in August, but the percentage of consumers intending to take a vacation in the next 6 months continue to climb. While the resurgence of the Delta, or with the rise of the Delta, and inflation concerns have dampened confidence, it is too soon to conclude this decline will result in consumers significantly curtailing their spending in the months ahead. So that is one thing we do have to consider. Yes, I am insinuating that we could possibly see some levels of stagnation with some levels of inflation if this continues, but we still need to see if a trend will develop, a long running trend, not just a couple of months, but I'm talking about several months back to back, just continued on top of other confirming data that we see. So with expectations of inflation being higher, with the prospects of the 10-year being lower because of lower growth, that would be an environment that would be good for silver, and especially for gold. Obviously, silver is more tied to the to industries in the economy. So obviously, it may kind of lag a little bit when it comes to that slow growth. But when it comes to inflation, it'll benefit from it. For gold, on the other hand, that's a double whammy on both ends. It's like, oh hey, slow growth and inflation, sign me up, pretty much. So as far as right now is concerned, I do think that we have more room to go when it comes to the silver price in the near term, but we still need to consistently close above the $24 level. We did yesterday, but today, are we going to do it? Right now we're at 23.96. We'll see, guys, by the end of the day. Let me know what you think. Do you think we'll consistently close above the $24 level this week and maybe in the days to come after this week? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thanks again for watching.